Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders Without podcast. Today, I have a repeat of one of my good friends, Camille. I had on my podcast a while ago, and today she's coming back to share with us something very exciting that she's working on. She's not only she's a very successful businesswoman as well as a podcaster. She's also now getting into something that's very exciting, which is out giving a voice to other wonderful people to share the message to a book in a publishing house, and we're going to talk about that. So, Camille, once again, my good friend, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me again and helping spread the word on the new project.
Very welcome. For people who don't know you, just give us a quick summary of who's Camille. Yes.
Okay. My name's Camille Miller, and I am the founder of a global professional organization called the Natural Life Business Partnership. And we are a business incubator and professional organization for those that are soul professionals. And that is a soul-centered, someone who totally aligns who they are with what they do, and they don't want to lose sight of their professionalism.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So now, you said you've been a podcaster since 2020, right?
That's right. Yep.
How's that going?
That's going very well. It started out as a summit in 2020 just to kind of spread the word. It's called Six Figure Souls Doing Good and Making Money. So it's about people that are totally aligned with who they are, but they broke through that six-figure ceiling. Because so many people feel like, oh, if I follow my heart and do my passion, I can't actually make money at it. So I started to tell stories of people that did it for inspiration for those that are trying. And it was obviously during a lockdown in the pandemic, and that's when we started. And then I think my first summit was in June, right after the pandemic. And then we did 3 of them. And now we've turned it into a podcast so we can release interviews weekly.
Oh, wow.
On people that are doing it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
I know podcasting is amazing. It's changed my life, and I'm a big fan of podcasting. So that's amazing to be talking to another podcaster, and that's how we connected on my podcast. So
yeah,
still remember it. Wow, awesome. So now, tell us about this new exciting chapter of your life.
Yeah, so in trying to get people to create these very soul-aligned businesses, I decided to publish a book that's a collaborative piece because I have never written a book before. So I decided to become a lead author after I met the publisher that we're using, who had, I think, 27 to date of Amazon top 100 collaborative books. So I thought that was pretty amazing. So I aligned myself with her and her team to put out a book called The Ultimate Guide to Creating Your Soul-Centered Business, 25 Tips and Strategies from the Experts That Did It. So it's people from all walks of life that have created a business that is totally aligned, that comes from their heart, and they're making money doing it, and just kind of telling their stories and giving a tip or strategy on how to help the reader, move forward.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the first question that comes to mind is, so you've been very successful in your previous businesses and podcasting. Why now getting into publishing?
I felt it was like the next step. Like, I feel I have a full book in me, but I thought doing this, like one chapter would start. Yes. Yeah. And I've never really considered myself a writer. So with this opportunity, we're bringing in writing coaches. So I feel like I'm going to learn a lot about copywriting and titles and how to use words correctly, how to tell my story clearer. And so is all the other writers. So then when I'm ready to do my book, I'll have that experience. The second part is I really have a very strong platform of this new paradigm shift towards this soul professional. And I needed a platform to start talking about it. And by writing a chapter, it's kind of like writing my speech for a stage, right? And telling my story. So I'm using the book as a platform, right, to start getting the word out. It'll help me with my writing. It'll help me with my speaking. It brings together an amazing bunch of people that I don't necessarily know that are in my circle already. And we're helping more people create businesses. So I felt like everything was aligned just to move forward and do this.
Beautiful. I see a lot of similarities between this and podcasting because, again, it allowed me to connect with incredible people,
Yeah.
learn about things, and so many beautiful opportunities. Now, the question I have, on my podcast, when I ask people, do you have your own podcast? 95% say no. And when I ask them why, two main reasons. One, I'm not a techie. Maybe not 95, but maybe 80, 85% say no. Out of my
Yeah.
podcast, when I ask them why, they say two main reasons. Why? I'm not a techie and I don't have the time. So for you, from a publishing perspective, we all want to have a book, but if you ask
We don't have
people
the
why
time.
haven't you written your book yet, what are so far the two main reasons that are stopping people currently from going ahead and writing and publishing their own books?
Yeah. So writing a full book and publishing yourself probably is time consuming.
Oh, yes.
And you
Mm.
probably don't even know how to do it, right? So I don't think I would tackle that project alone. If I had a book in me, then I'd find a publisher to help. But this is more of like like I said before, like a smaller step. And each chapter is
Yes.
only 2,500 words.
Okay.
It's significant enough to tell your story, but you can write 2,500 words in like 3 hours, right? And we have the editors and everything working on it. And your story is going to be so perfected, right? It comes with a bio, it comes with all of these other things, and it comes with all these other stories that I feel like are supportive, right? So everyone's story is going to be a little bit different. Everyone's going to give a different tip and a different strategy that draws the audience back to you. So I think this is a great way to start without a huge time commitment and just get a feel of, could I do more of this? And there's some people in the book that, this is their 6th or 7th collaborative book. They love collaborative books. And you can literally take every one of those chapters and create your own book.
Absolutely. Totally. One thing I noticed from my experience from my podcast, a lot of people, and myself included, we have gifts and talents that we don't even acknowledge, or for us, we don't even pay attention to them. We take them for granted.
Yeah.
It takes someone else to tell us to it. So we all have, for example, we all have our own story. So what if someone doesn't, appreciate this story and feels that my story is not important or it's not good, I don't have a story? What is your answer to these people that do not really value, appreciate, or maybe they have wonderful stories, but for them it's nothing special because it's part of day-to-day basis? So what do you have to say if someone says, well, I don't have a story, my story is not worth sharing?
Everyone has a story.
Yes.
Right. And your story can be so motivating to the other person that doesn't think they have a story. Right. So I say this, in our own, coaching groups that we do, everyone has to share a success. And people are like, my success is showing up today. I don't really have one.
Yeah.
And, by the end of the call, they hear other people's success and they're like, oh, that happened to me. And, oh, I got a new client. Oh, I had this great phone call. Like they forget because they're in it every single day and they don't see their own momentum or their own strength, right? They have a hard time recognizing, I think even more so with heart-centered entrepreneurs,
Right.
they're not looking inward. So, it's really, you have a story and there's something that's happened, and writing your story will help get it out. Because when you tell your story, you attract more people to you. So telling your story is so important.
Speaking of that, do you have any type of, once someone joins this program, do you have some kind of coaching call to help them get the story out or get them to structure it and giving them the belief that, hey, your story matters and your story is wonderful?
Yeah. So it was so important to me. And I think that's how we differentiate from a lot of other collaborative books. We have brought writing coaches on to help us craft the story, to craft our title, to, give the proper tip, to write our bios perfectly. So it's really a full group, and we're collaborating on the marketing. So it's not just like, here, you did this book and we have no plan, right? I have a podcast, so I'll be interviewing all of the authors. Our publisher has a show, or I don't know if it's actually a podcast, it might be something that they will do. It will have panel discussions. We'd love to have an event, a virtual book launch, with all of the authors, and we'll just have them keep coming in and talking and answering questions. So it's way more than just a book. And we are, since it's international, because our authors are from all over the world, we're hoping to get live book copies in the hands of people, not only distributed through Amazon, but in bookstores. So you can do book launches and book signings and everything. So it's a bigger marketing plan than just kind of winging it.
Sure. Now, in terms of time commitment, so even though it's only one chapter, sorry, how much time would someone need to devote to this to be able to complete this program?
Honestly, only a couple hours. So we have a kickoff call on March 2nd, and that's like an hour and a half. And that's like the rules, the ideas, how to create your title. Your titles due like 2 or 3 days later. And then you have 3 or 4 weeks to put the whole chapter together. And literally you could probably write 2,500 words in a couple hours.
Especially when you're speaking about yourself. It's not like you're writing a paper on, say, on environment or something you have no idea about.
There's no research needed.
Exactly. You just speak from the heart,
Absolutely. Yeah. So not a huge time commitment. And hopefully they'll take the time though to, get to know some of the other authors and, collaborate, because I think there's a really special piece of all of us coming together to make it easier for other people to create businesses.
The art of writing is definitely an art. So what if someone feels that, hey, I'm not, and was never good in English, especially when it comes to writing. So you mentioned you have, writing coaches. Tell us more about that. How are these people going to help the people that may not feel as confident in their writing skills?
Yeah, I think, so I haven't gone through it yet, but these writing coaches are to make us feel more confident, to help us tell our story. And I can assure you, by the time you finish writing this chapter, your posts will be better, your articles will be better, your blogs will be better, all of your copywriting will be better. I feel like it's a writing course along with it, if that makes sense. Our publisher is a fabulous writer. And the fact that they work with each writer to make sure that the book comes out nice, because there are books where chapters aren't even edited.
Wow.
That's not going to happen in this book. My name's on it. And I also want to say that every single author's name is on the cover.
Okay.
And that's also an important piece of this collaborative project.
Sure. That is very true. Yes.
Yeah.
So how many spots do you have in total available for this program, and how many are still left?
Yeah. So we have there's 25 author spots, 25. We want 25. I'm one of them, right? So then there's 24 that I'm getting rid of, or giving the opportunity out to others. And we have about 2/3 of them filled.
Wow.
There's a couple of people out there. Yeah. So we only have about 5 to 8, depending on people getting in their deposits and stuff. So available, but we really want to round it out with diversity and people from, different backgrounds. It doesn't matter if you're a CPA or an attorney or a website designer or a coach, a podcaster, a networker, or, we have someone doing singing bowls, in the health and wellness. No matter what your career, you have a story to tell that'll draw people back to you. And I think that's when you're authentic, that's what matters. And it's really just a stage, a platform to tell your story over and over and over again. So we'll help you craft that story, because you'll be telling it for a while.
So what is, if someone is interested in now, what's the best way to proceed?
So if they are watching this on Facebook, they can always DM me at Camille Miller, because you usually tag me if that's where they're seeing this.
Yes, of course.
They can get me on LinkedIn at Camille L. Miller. They can also go to our website, soulprofessional.com, and hit the contact us page, and I will get all of that information.
All
That's
right.
the best ways to do it. And then I can always forward more information about the details.
So when is this going to kick off again?
This kicks off on March 2nd. So I'm really hoping, though, to get all of the authors by the end of this week, on the far end next week. We can all start meeting each other, because I think that's important. I want everyone to know each other before we start all the writing.
When will this be published?
It's coming out in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty fast. Pretty soon. Before
Yeah.
you know, it's going to be June. Wow. Okay.
Well, we do
4
all the
months.
writing is in March, and then we work through all the editing and, the book covers, the artwork. That takes a
Yeah.
while. Yeah. Yeah. And authors can get each of their copies through wholesale. So they very easily make back the money that they invest by selling their own books,
Absolutely.
which they can sell from stage or give away for free if they want.
Yeah. Do you have a website if someone wants to get all the information? Or
The best way is to get in contact with me,
Okay.
and then I'll send it to them.
all right, awesome. So I'll put all these in the show notes, and yeah, that's exciting because a book is one of the most amazing, fastest, effective way to establish yourself as an expert. Just like what I was talking to you yesterday. Imagine next time you meet someone, you go to a conference, and they say, "Hey, can I have your business card?" Sorry, I don't have a business card, but here's my book. Mind blown. Automatically that will elevate you in their mind as an expert. And as I like saying, when people see you, when your ideal clients and prospects see you as an expert, an authority, and a leader, you don't have to pitch, to convince, to seduce, or kidnap them for them to do business with you. They will be the one chasing you.
Absolutely. And you can sell this at fairs and book places, and you can do signings, and there's lots, it's a whole revenue stream right there.
Not only that, but a book is one of the greatest ways for you to get into radio stations, TVs, speaking engagements, and bigger JVs, and the sky is the limit. It's an amazing launching pad, But
Absolutely.
Again, the most important thing is going to allow you to do is to elevate yourself from being whatever you are to being the expert, the authority, the leader, so that you can have the greatest impact out there, because it's all about differentiation, As I like saying, there's a cheesy line in real estate: location, location, location. And me, after doing business around the world for the past 20 years, I noticed something similar. I call it the rules of the 3Ds: differentiation, differentiation, differentiation. What can me and you do to elevate ourselves from whatever we are to being the expert? And a book is one of the most powerful ways to do so. So for anyone, listen, Camille is awesome. She has a wonderful team around her. And listen, I'm not pitching. I'm just telling you the straight facts. She's amazing. You will love working with her, and just get in touch with her.
I appreciate this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You.
Do you have any parting tips, any parting message for anyone that might be on the fence right now?
Just do it.
Just do it. Just like the old, saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No one ever thinks they're ready. And if it feels uncomfortable, that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
That means you're breaking through.
You're growing up. Yes.
Yep, you're going up. That's a level up. This
Absolutely.
will be simple, fun, and easy. You don't have to worry.
It's only 2,500 words, especially when it comes from talking about you. Imagine that you're invited on a stage. You would have to anyway either prepare a speech or memorize something. Imagine you're going on a big conference and write it down. This way you will have already your content for the book, and then you can use that as well for your speech. So basically killing two birds with one stone.
We're already helping you. So
exactly. So so listen, Kimmy, as always, absolute blast, honor, pleasure talking to you. Love what you're doing. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world with your presence. You're a true leader with a heart. I salute you. Stay safe. Stay awesome. God bless you, my friend. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Oops.